on the computer. Wow. Okay, guys, welcome. Fitness Pilates foam roller. This is the third workshop of the week, which is interesting. And as I said yesterday on the spiky ball, all of these workshops are designed to be interchangeable. If you do any of my education, whether it's conditioning, whether it's fitness Pilates, whether it's foam roller, spiky ball, you'll always see a common thread that runs throughout. So I am really interested in functional training. I've been trained in functional training, I've studied it at a really high level, and I just love adapting functional training for group exercise. So some of the more technical aspects of functional training that maybe you'd see personal trainers or sports specific trainers use, I love to watch how they do and how they do it. And I'm always trying to think, well, how could we make that more accessible for a group, for the masses? And there's never been a more important time to train our guys, our clients, your clients, for life. So it's not just training our clients in one plane. So for example, if we take Pilates, traditional Pilates, for example, and we look at the original mat work exercises, the classical exercises, well, many of them are really in one plane. There's a lot of flexion in the originals, quite a bit of extension, quite a bit, but there's only a few that have rotation, and there's only a few in the frontal plane, side to side, abduction, adduction. So with Fitness Pilates, when I created it, which is over 20 years ago now, it was always to take the original principles, so breathing and centering and alignment, and use a lot of the original mat work exercises, but constantly evolving. And if I look back when we first started doing Fitness Pilates in 20 years ago, it's just changed so much, because as an industry, we have learned so much more about the body, and we see trends come and go, we see fitness trends come and go. And I've always wanted to incorporate that into Fitness Pilates. So whatever we're doing today, you might come to a workshop in 6 months and you'll see me constantly evolve it again. My thought process for Fitness Pilates and everything I do, all the education, is there's never one size fits all. It's never black and white. So I'd always say, well, think it through yourself and think laterally. And if I can give you the theory behind it and the rationale and how I've arrived at a certain point, then you can create the right class, the right exercise, the right sequences for your clients, whoever you've got in front of you that day. And personally, I think that makes a really cracking instructor. So you have this extensive toolbox that you can just keep changing, you can give variety, you can make it more functional, you can make it more challenging, you can regress it, you can progress it, but ultimately your knowledge is going to be able, you're going to be able, with the knowledge that you have, to serve the clients who you've got in front of you that day. It's never going to be the same session every single week. You're always going to be able to change it, modify it, regress it, progress it, etc. So I love the functional aspect of human movement. So how we actually move in an everyday life. We move forward and back, flexion, extension, sagittal plane. And I know if you've been with me over the last few days, you've heard me say this many times, but I like to recap it, because I think if you can then explain it and educate it to your clients, I think it helps them understand, oh yeah, I understand why we're doing this standing. I understand why it feels awkward when I do rotation. So I think it really helps them. You understand it, you teach it, and your clients get a much better result from they understand why they're doing something. So if you take, I always say this, I feel like I have to always caveat it. If you take a program like Body Pump, I'm not a Les Mills hater, please don't believe I am, but if you take something like Body Pump, pretty much everything in Body Pump is either up or down, yeah, or it's either push or pull, so very much sagittal plane. And when we all do our original training back in the day, whenever we did it, from a safety standpoint, from a beginner standpoint, it is a safe way to train people, you know, in one plane or majority of one plane. But what happens in everyday life when they reach round and try and look at that back poster, or you're in your car and you reach round, twisting round to look at the kids, or you're gardening. And if we've not trained the body all through those different planes, then that's often when injury occurs. And also for us as fit pros, if we are particularly dominant in one plane, or if we're very dominant maybe in the front of the body, not the back of the body, again, this is where injury starts to creep up on us. So I'm very mindful whether it's spiky ball, whether it's foam roller, whether it's Fitness Pilates, whether you're using a weighted ball, a kettlebell, that you are always moving in 3 planes. So whatever the exercise is, okay, what can we do? Can we take it side to side? Can we rotate it? And can we just keep progressing it on and on? So I hope that makes sense from a functional standpoint. And you'll see today how I put this whole training together is, let's take a lot of the more basic Fitness Pilates exercises, core stability exercises, Fitness Pilates exercises, let's bring them together, but including on two modes on the roll. So you're going to have a balance challenge, because hopefully you've got a longish roller that you'll be able to balance on and do a lot of the exercises. So it's going to increase your stability, it's going to increase and strengthen your lumbar pelvic area. It will increase your core stability and strength. It will improve your balance, your stability, and it's a really nice way of providing a greater challenge for your clientele. But also using the roll to massage some various areas. So we'll look at all the tight spots, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, your upper back, your lower back. And I've put together a little bit of a sort of a methodology of do some exercise, do some strength training, train the muscle, strengthen endurance, and then roll the muscle, stretch it out, and then again, train a different area, and then stretch it out, roll it. So you kind of got this, you're moving from one idea to the next idea, strength training, and then more flexibility and mobility. So see what you think. And of course, this is just one way that you can do this. There's a multitude of different ways that you can use the foam roller, but I want you to try this way tonight. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can put something together similar or something that suits your clientele. Sorry to be a pain, I'm just rejoining. Okay, I get you. Okay guys, so need to warm you up first of all. So if you'd stand up and put some music on, and then we're going to go for it. I'm going to use just some really light, gentle music tonight. I'm just so still, so in love with this Mind Body Beats 3. It's just such a nice vibe. And then we'll go from there. Good work. And anytime you've got any questions, comments, just pop them in the box. If the comments annoy you, somebody said that to me yesterday or the day before, you can minimize the comments so that you don't see them. But I do like to come to the screen and make sure that you're okay and I can see you, etc. And I'll just keep flipping onto gallery view. So let's have a lovely session. Move that through just a touch. Okay, is that all loud enough? Does that sound okay? Lying on your roller already. I now feel very tight. I find it loosened off a lot yesterday after. Okay, good work guys. Have you rolled with you? Okay, first of all, you want to have second and third toe lining up between the middle of your patella and then coming up and lining up with your hip bones here. I'll just lift my webcam in a minute. Now, bring your attention to your scapula. Bring your scapula back and down. Squeeze the posterior delts together. And just be aware of the lower back. If you're feeling any tightness there, as you move into a more lordotic spine and tilt the top of the pelvis forward, how does that lower back feel? How is it feeling tonight? Does it feel quite tight? And if you just do a little body scan, think about around your sacrum, your SI joint, around your coccyx, and that lower back, just into the first few vertebrae. How does it feel right now? And if you close your eyes just for a second and tilt your pelvis forward and back. So you have anterior and posterior tilt. There we go. And if you do close your eyes and you've had a really busy week, maybe you've been teaching a lot of classes on hard floors, and your lower back might feel quite compacted. You did the workshop yesterday, maybe it was quite loose. Close your eyes and always ascertain how you're actually moving and feeling in this moment right now at 8:20 on Friday. And hopefully you've had lots of water, so you're feeling hydrated. You need to make sure that all the tissue and all the cells are hydrated before you do this exercise. Good. Keeping your eyes closed. Notice how much movement you've got anteriorly and how much you've got posteriorly. Good. Oh, sorry, everyone's not on mute. Okay. Oh, should be mute. Oh, there's a doggy. There we go. Sorry, T. I can just see all the comments coming up. Now, hands on the top of your hips. And I just want you to move the hips there side to side. Okay. So again, we're moving the pelvis in 3 planes. Not me, I don't have a dog. Good, so just move side to side. So with your lumbopelvic area, which is all the muscles, all the joints, all the ligaments that feed into the pelvis, ensure that you are moving the pelvis in those 3 planes. So you're just lifting your hip. Okay, now let's circle the hips around. So often in Pilates, you often see instructors only move the pelvis forward and back, anteriorly and posteriorly. And it's really key that you do start, before you start lying on the roller or a spiky ball or a Swiss ball, you've got to wake up this area gently. Good. Again, especially if somebody has had any lower back problems, again, just really take this gentle. Maybe start with your pelvis like I am, rather than go with shoulders first, and then circle around. Remember, thinking of your core and your abs, so that they're like your hub, where your upper body and your lower body all meets. And you always find whenever I teach these sessions on a Friday night, they're much more relaxed. Like yesterday's more high energy, this is much more chilled. Okay, let's just move on from that. I know you're with me. Okay, start to lift the femur. Okay, again, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, so you're understanding why I'm doing certain things. Okay, so our first level would be tilting the pelvis forward and back, side to side rotation. Second level for the lumbopelvic area is to lift the knee, so lift the femur. So every time the femur moves, think of the skeleton. As the femur moves, the pelvis has to tilt. Even if you're using the core muscles to stabilize the pelvis has to tilt to allow that movement to happen. So we want that, but want to do it under control. You're all good, okay. Now take the leg to the side, so abduction. And you will always see me do this kind of lunge matrix in conditioning, in Fitness Pilates, because again, it's very key that we do train this area first, we get it really warm. Now this is more extreme, but just lean in into hip extension. Now again, I've not got a particularly curvy lower back. My lower back is really stiff and compacted. But if you can start to just arch the back, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable, you're just flexing and extending, and you'll all be completely different when you do this. We're all made completely differently. We have different strengths, different weaknesses, and take your time through it. Okay, now give me a circle with the hip, all the way around, and all the way around. Good. Now if you just check with your rib cage, that the rib cage stays very, very still. At the moment, this is more of a shallow breath. We will work with the breath and the diaphragm, and more of a lateral breath when we're coming onto the roller. And I will encourage you to really lift the rib cage and lower the rib cage. Now there's your external. Now let's go internal rotation. Again, it won't look pretty. It's very, there you go. Whose dog was barking? Everybody's got a dog, I'm sure. I'm the only person in the world who's not got a dog. One more. Good, let's just put those together. So let's have a single knee lift, an abduction, hip extension, and circle. Internal and squat. The other side. A single knee, abduction. So you start to see we're bringing in some balance. Open. Internal, ooh, squat. Now could you do that without touching the floor? Single knee, abduction, hip extension, external rotation, internal rotation, and squat. Lovely. Good again, knee lift. If your leggings are starting to stick to you. External, whoa, so bringing that balance challenge. Failed on the challenge. Squat. Just one more. Here we go. So single knee, abduction. You can have the arms to assist. Good. You can do it on this side. All the way in and squat. And then your left. Single knee. Hip abduction. Into extension. Circle. Again, looks a lot harder, but lots a lot easier than it is. Stay with the squat. Sit back. Sit back. Again. Imagine you've got your little chair behind you. You're just about to sit down. Back one more. Here it is. Okay, with your head, neck and shoulders. Now let's roll the shoulders back carefully. If you're feeling tension around the shoulder joint, again, just taking your time. Hope you're all okay. You look good, everyone. Circle round. One more. Okay, let's make it bigger. Open your arms. Then open. So you can make your foam roller work as dynamic as you want to. Tonight we'll take it at a very more relaxed pace, but you could of course make it more dynamic and quicker. Over the top. So right side over and left side. Okay, just a few. There we go, one more time. Back of the hands together. There and open. Fab. Okay, let's get some thoracic rotation. Bring your heels together, open your arms and rotation right. Look over your shoulder. Keep the thighs together. Lovely. Rotation. Here we go. Lovely, and turn again. One. Take away your arms. Drop the head, neck and shoulders. Now, if any of you are struggling at all with your hips, if there's any osteoporosis going on in the hips and a forward flex roll down is not comfortable, then you could do a partial roll down. Then again, I'd love you to extend. If you feel comfortable into unsupported extension, then do it. Again, it depends on your lower back time. So if you know that you've got quite an excessive lordosis, then as you roll back, you may not want to go all the way back. You may want to stay neutral. So I really want you to self-monitor and tweak this for you. Again, one size doesn't fit all. So if that is painful, you feel that you're hanging off your lower back and it's uncomfortable, do a partial. And then on the other hand, if you feel that your back is quite stiff and needs that lovely extension, then just go for it. So I want you to monitor it, how you feel, and again, knowing how your lower back reacts to certain movements. It's all right, Leanne. It's good to see you. Breathe in and roll up. So again, do you need the extension? Then get it. If you prefer to stay in neutral, then again, stay there. So let's try and individualize the practice a bit. Roll up. Okay, let's take this in 3 planes. Now, everybody neutral. The lateral flexion. So there's your frontal plane. There you go again. So anything that moves side to side, abduction and adduction, is your frontal plane. There we go. So whenever you move from a sagittal plane into a frontal or a transverse, it always does feel a bit more awkward. Now both arms down, let's mix the planes. Now again, I want you to feel as if again, you're activating your core, your transverse abs, your rectus abdominis as you roll forward, drop the head. Bend the knees is okay, lift up. Okay, either extend or pause. Lateral flexion to the right. Over to your left. Good. And then take both arms out. Now let's go rotation. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and start to rotate over to the right. And bring it back to the center. So just gentle rotation left. And if anybody's watching, let me know that everything sounds okay, looks okay. Nobody's dog barking. Slowly. There we go. So there's your 3 planes. Just one more, and I will do a little routine that might be helpful. So roll down. Then breathe in at the bottom. So think of your spine, lumbar spine into the thoracic. Pin back with the scats. Extension if you need it. Lateral flexion right. Center, lateral flexion left. All sounds good. Thanks, Fiona. Arms out. Good. Open. Squeeze back and then start to rotate. Look over your shoulder. And the amount of rotation that you've got will vary from day to day, will vary from where you are in the day, bring your arms down. Okay, let's just put that together. So let's have a single knee. This is a nice little sequence. Extension, outward rotation, external rotation, internal, and then squat. Feet down. Here's your left, single knee. Don't let the leg touch. If you balance, out. It's always on that side for me. Internal and squat. Good, both arms up, breathe in. Good, breathe out and roll down. Good, again, utilising your core muscles to again support the spine. But if you're feeling pressure, pain, come back up. Again, how do you feel? How are you moving tonight? Extension if you need it. Lateral flexion over to the right. Lateral flexion over to the left, so it's gentle. Good, both arms out. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Rotation over to the right. Let me just check you all out. Check you're okay. Good. Again, rotation left. Oh, look at everybody. Fantastic. Fab. Good. Bring your arms down and just circle back. Okay. Nice work. Okay, have a bit of a shake. Okay, let's incorporate the roller a little bit. You've got a shorter one. No problem. Okay, let's just use this more as, do you all know a tool called Viper? Have you seen, you know what a Viper is? Okay, I'm going to use this a little bit like a Viper. So just as a tool to get some rotation and some movement. So just see how this feels. Anything that's not comfortable, of course, modify it. Okay, let's take just a little step forward first. So step. Okay, step back. Again, nice and steady. Back. Now I'm going to slow this step down so it will become a step, a lunge, a lift, and then come back. So step, lunge, lift. Okay, think about this being quite functional. Lean and come up. So you're doing a step as if you're reaching down and then you're coming up. But again, it's not that kind of fitness lunge that you would keep your back straight like this. I want you to step and reach. Reach as if you're picking something up, but look ahead. So you're using your glutes to push you back. So again, everybody needs to be able to lift up. Good. Oh, more people coming in. So as we go, step. So you're thinking about our traditional training. We're just thinking out the box a little bit here. So we have a step, reach down. So I'm going to say the Viper then. The foam roller comes down. There we go. Two more. Step. There we go. Again, I want you to feel that you're pushing through the glute. Come back. Okay. This time, take your arms up and lunge. Good again. Step and lunge. Back. Keep it going. Step and lunge. Now again, if you're feeling lightheaded, if this raises your blood pressure, lose it. Now watch. We're going to step, sweep, lift, come back. Step, sweep, lift. Now we have forward flexion with rotation. Contraindications to this would be anybody with osteoporosis of the hip and the lower spine. You don't want anybody there adding a rotation. But from a functional standpoint, this is a really important movement pattern to train through. Step, rotation, up, come back. Lovely. Step. That's good. And anything you think of as you're going. One more. Okay, bring your arm down. Let's just curtsy to the right and left. So break. And again, the roll is light, but it gives you a nice focus tool with the upper body. So keep the chest lifted. And again, in Fitness Pilates, we need to, again, strengthen the glutes. The glutes are key for posture, the lower back. Broomstick is fine, Nikki, yeah. If they don't have a roller. Yeah, broomstick. Oh, Nikki just answered. I saw Nikki's answer before. Now, again, I want you to think this through. So this would be level 1, let's say. Okay. Let me slow it down. So step, cross, step and hold. Step, cross. In fact, let's pick up the beat. Pick it up. Let's go. 1, step across. So that would be level 1. Level 2, bring your arms in now again. We're going to rotation. Now watch that front knee, that's your point. Look behind you. Look, we're moving into the transverse plane. There. You don't need to do very many. There. I'm thinking of what else, I'm just looking around. And again, step, cross behind. Now, if you keep going, if you did this just with your arms, oops, you would get, you would get that rotation. But you've got a little bit more momentum with your foam roller. Getting warm. 2 more. 1 more. And just rest. Okay, I'm going to tie you all out. Yeah, mop. Yeah, Rosie mop Pilates. Okay, so we have, now let's try the lateral flexion. Same movement. Steps over. Lateral flexion. Good. All the way over. Again, now your ear follows the shoulder. And yesterday, like on the spiky board, this would be fab to mix with your spiky board stuff. You can really feel it. If you're watching and you're making notes, definitely try this. Don't just teach it. It's a lot harder than it looks. And all these will all challenge your balance, your stability. Okay. 1 more. And rest. Good, bring it down. Okay. We're like a sequence. So let's put that together as a sequence, okay? So first of all, it was the step lunge reach. And what you're training your guys to do is to use the glutes, not the lower back. So rather than stepping there, yes, you're stepping, you're leaning, but it's the glute that want to push back up. And that's what you want to relearn the brain to do. So again, power through those glutes. Whew, shall we try it? Step forward first. So 1, 2, 3. So if I am looking, I'm looking up to the camera. So step, so there. Again, down, push back. Lovely. 2 more. Step, lunge and squeeze. You've got it. Last one. Step, lunge and squeeze. Right leg behind you. Just hold it for 4, 3, 2. A little bit higher for 4. 4. Squeeze it back. Head up. 1 more. Okay, let's add the transverse rotation. Now, squeeze behind. Squeeze behind. Good again. Squeeze behind. Yes. Fabulous, isn't it? Squeeze behind. Yes. Keep going. Now, can you keep going? And move into your lateral flexion. Let's go. Over. Breathe again. 1 more. And rest. Good work. Okay. So we have, everybody okay? Okay, so we have your forward sagittal plane. Then we have, I didn't put that into the mix, but then you could do your rotation as well. Now let's take the leg back. So let's go into a lunge and bring it back slowly. Into a lunge. You know, okay, I've confessed this many times in the lockdown, that I have a huge bunion on my left leg that now doesn't really allow me to lunge very well without shoes. Spiky ball's really good for it. So you'll see I'm shaky on this side. Getting back. Okay, let's take your arms up in front. Step back and lift. Do it again. Step back. There it is. And back at the rotation. Then come up. Let's go. So it's low, rotation, up, and again. Step, rotation. Come again. Step, rotation. It really is so good. And that's the vibe. This is all very much like Viper training, which is very much athletic training. Now this time, arms behind. 1, 2, just single, arms up. Good. Now lateral flexion. Whoa! You'll be so much better than me. There. Take the head with you. So it's lateral flexion as you step back. I mean, you can do an hour with this. It's so functional, good for all ages. One more. And rest. Okay, have a shake. So, you know, in a Fitness Pilates session with your friend Roland, I mean, we've done just like 10 minutes there. You could do so much more if you want to make any notes on that. So what you're doing in effect is you're completely working the spine in 3 planes. You're targeting the glutes. It's extremely functional training because you're training your client to be able to reach down low with rotation and lift up. A lot of this is reciprocal action. Now, reciprocal action is how we move. We walk, you know, we don't walk like this, do we? We don't walk like that. We walk. We've got that lovely sort of diagonal cross effect going. So it's training very much in that way. It's training for life, I always think, functional training is. And it's just really nice just using the foam roller or anything. You could do this with anything. It just gives you that little bit more momentum. So I hope that was helpful. And I hope that was something that you could maybe look at. Okay, we'll just do one more matrix and then we'll stay standing and then we'll start to come down to the floor. Whew, is everyone warm? Let me know if you've got any questions. Good, yeah, definitely. It is, I've done it with the dumbbell a lot. You only need like a 2 kilo dumbbell. Okay, very good. Okay, now go back with your squats. So your toes are forward, shoulders back. Now, I think this is a really good way again of relaying the brain to utilize the core. So before you actually move, you retrain the brain to think, okay, let's contract this midsection and then let's move our arms and legs. Okay, so we'll do it first of all, just with your arms. So we have lift for 2 and lower for 2, just to shoulder high. But as you come up, bring the shoulder blades back down. So squeeze, retract if you can there. Now add your squat. So push back, then come forward. Slowly squat. Then you want to feel with the squat that your leggings are stretching right off the back of your glutes. That's good, you've got it. Everyone's got different sizes. Some have got monster. We've got monster rollers there, and some have got little ones. This looks good. Monsters. So there. Just got a bit quicker. Let's pick it up. 1 and back. And 2. Let's have rotation. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sit back. Rotation. Now again, it's into that glute. So you're going back into the glute. Always look where you're going. So follow the roller. That's good. Sit back. Rotation. Very nice. This is awesome. Hi, Lindy. Nice to see you. Good. That's good. You've got it. That's it. Fab. Good. Down rotation. Come back up and just squat and hold in front of you. Now let's think of the roller as if we're going to pick something up. Try and get it to the floor. So touch. And again, keeping your head up. So just keep it going. Bring it together here. So 1, lift, 2, lift, 3, lift, extension. There we go. And all the way back. 1 more. Okay, you're going to take it down and through. Yes. And then extend back. Down and through. And then lift. And again, down and through. And lift. 1 more. Down and through. Now take it to the right corner. And again, over to the left. And lift. I always love this. This was a Paul Check signature move. Wood chop. Now breathe out as you cross. Breathe in as you come back. 1 more. Come back to the center. Just 2 in the middle. 1 more. Up to your left. And again, right down. Cross. And then lift. Good. You can do it. 2 more. Oh, I understand, Christine. Just rest. Yes, of course. Last one. And rest. Good work. Okay, my friends, well done. I hope you got that and you understood the principle. Just make a few notes when you're thinking about it. Again, anything. So if we're training our core, think of your core. So let's just take your rectus abdominis. So your rectus abdominis here in very, very simplistic terms. Rectus abdominis attaches here at your rib cage and then down here to your pelvis. So if you want to train that muscle, that specific muscle, you've got to shorten the muscle and then you've got to lengthen the muscle. So the way you're going to do that is you've got to move your ribs because that's where it attaches, and you've got to move your pelvis because that's where it attaches. Well, your ribs don't move on their own. Your ribs move by being driven by your arms. So when you've got your roller, of course you could do it without that, that just helps that driving motion. So you're working your core using your arms. Your arms are driving your rib cage, and you can feel, obviously, you can feel the rectus abdominis shortening and lengthening. Now, when you do it with the legs, the femur is driving the pelvis. So when you step back into a lunge as well, you've got a really dynamic core exercise. Yes, it's working so many other things, but then it's there. So your lunge, extension and flexion, extension and flexion. So again, working your glutes, working your thighs, and working all of your core into your lower back as well. And then of course, when you're doing you've got your frontal plane here. So again, think of what's happening with your arm. As your arm's going over, this is driving the rib cage up. As you're crossing the leg behind, you get the frontal plane movement there. And then when you do with the rotation, there, again, the legs wrapping around the back, the arms are driving the rib cage that way, so you get a lovely transverse plane as well. Yeah, I mean, it's evolved a lot since the Paul Check days, but I think you can understand the theory behind it. Okay, good stuff. I hope you enjoyed that. Come down, come to the wall first. I might use signal, so see. Just going to start to roll a little bit. We did this a lot yesterday with the spikers. So just have your roll just above your bottom. So it's not into your lower back, it's kind of around your pelvis, your sacrum. Push into the roll. Okay, let's start to squat and roll down and then come up. So just squat. If you can squat really low, and just that feels so much easier. If you've got a knobbly one, you're going to feel the knobbles really get into the muscle fibers. But just take your time, just push back. I know, it doesn't, you're right. The nasal stuff, it never does, because it's function, and that's how we move. That never is going to change. So I need to move into your squat and then come up. Let's do 4 more. Push back. Now, if you press back into the roll, can you get the roll all the way up to your shoulders and then right down? And are you able to take your glutes beyond parallel without it being a problem for your knees? If you feel that your ligaments are popping open or extending, then obviously stop. Just again, get the roll into the back. Here we go. 2 more rolls. Okay, 1 more. Now stay down. Stay down, just hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. Good work. Okay, let's come down onto the floor. Woo. Okay, hopefully, if you've got a longish roll, we're going to do balance work first. Some balance challenges after all that strength work. Okay, so whenever you're ready, carefully roll down. Ooh, just do a body scan first of all. I'm just going to get the ponytail in the right place. Okay, so I'm hoping if you've got a longish roll that you have got your head on and you have got your lower back on. If you want a shorter one and you need to get some pillows and things or cushions just to pad up your head, then please do. These exercises I'm going to do now really are designed for doing it on the longer roll. So let's do some balance work first of all. Okay, so just want you to think about your shoulder blades and think about the edge, the wings of the scapula. And as you retract, and retract means you're bringing the outer edge of the scapula together, I want you to retract so that you can feel the roller. So your chest will pop up, your rib cage will open. I mean, you probably can't really see me doing this, but then let the shoulders go. So think retract. So you can feel the roller between your scapula. Just kind of grab it and then let it go. And again, so just retract. So on a very, very low level, this is wonderful for anybody that is quite kyphotic. And this would be a low level way of starting to strengthen, wake up the posterior chain, and then let go. And of course, you've also got a balance challenge going on again. Now take your arms up. And this is a hard one to explain, especially if you're teaching on digital. But again, breathe in and stretch your arms up to the ceiling. But as you breathe out, you're not going to bend your elbow, but retract that same motion that you just practiced. So you might open your arms a bit, but again, get the scapula around the roll, and then again, release it. Good, again, so squeeze back, get the scapula to feel the roller, and then breathe in and come back up. Good, again, so squeeze back with the shoulder blades. Now keep the scapula around, maintain that position, but allow your arms to float back. As soon as you feel that you've lost that control, hold it. If you can get your arms further back, but still keep the connection, then wonderful. Keep the shoulder blades around the roll, and then bring the hands down. As soon as you start to lose it, hold it, and then come back. So you're gripping, you've got that retraction, squeezing on, and your arms are floating back, and then coming forward. Okay, keep the retraction, and then circle. Ooh, I've lost it about there. Halfway, so like a snow angel. And again, it'll be different. And then bring it back. Squeeze the roll, and then come up. Ooh, might feel quite tight now. And again, so you're going forwards, down towards the floor by your feet. Keep the retraction, and then snow angel around again. The key is to keep the scapula around the roll. Bring your arms forward. Good, and then lift. Okay, one more. Now let's just go opposite. So take your right arm down, left arm back. My left arm is not having much of this. And then slowly start to change. But again, squeezing the scapula around the roll. Might not look particularly sleek, but it's that feeling, that awareness that I want you to build up with your clients. Okay, and then bring your arms down, and then just let them go. Ooh, that's harder than it looks. Again, extend your arms. If you feel lightheaded in any way, grab a drink, don't. I hope you're sitting all the way through. Keep hydrated. A lot of concentration. Okay, let's bring your first leg into a tabletop position. Ooh, second leg into tabletop position. Now, again, just do a quick scan. Are you able to maintain that position? Does it feel, do you feel a little bit precarious there? If you feel okay, you can keep your elbows down and just bring your forearms up. And if you can feel you can totally balance, then cross your heart. I'm not ready to balance yet. Okay, so your lower back, you'll see some Pilates training companies will advise you to press your lower back down and imprint. I would keep a more neutral position, a natural position. You're going to exhale and tap the leg down on the floor. Now the weight of the leg is going to challenge the core muscles to maintain the pelvic stability. So as your legs are coming down, your back, if you just let it go, your back will extend. But you're training your brain, you're getting your brain to switch on those core muscles, stabilize this area as you're tapping down with one leg. Good, do really slow. And thinking about bringing in your breath at the same time. So exhaling as you come down and inhaling as you come up. So it is your strength building section. And as you feel more practiced at your balance, you can always take your hands off. There we go. Just fantastic. Nice and easy. Good. And you'll start to feel more stable. So whenever we're training on an unstable surface, this sets off so many stabilization reactions through the whole body. And if you close your eyes as well, your brain goes almost into fight or flight. really has to work hard to maintain this upright position. Okay, just one more. Tap down, and then bring it back. And then lower down, let the leg come down one at a time. Good. And release. Now going back to your upper body. Okay, back into your pullover. So let me just work on it. So breathe in, breathe out, scaps down, and allow your arms to go back into your pullovers. And then bring your arms forward slowly. Good again. So just breathing out. So we're using the foam roller as a balance challenge. We need to challenge your stability. Bring your hands all the way down. And then lift one leg and the other leg. There we go. Now this time extend. So breathe out. So of course you've got much more weight now. And the lever there on the leg is more intense. So there's much more of a chance that the back is going to extend. So you're recruiting more core muscles. Of course you've got some hip flexor work going on here as well. There we go. Extend. One more, so go very gently. And then bring the legs down one at a time. Just release. Good. And relax. Okay, roll over. Good work. Come off your roll. And then just stretch. So you've got a balance challenge. There. Okay, so now let's roll. Let's start with your calves. So with a bit of strength and balance. Now with your calf, oh, that might feel enough. So it's the same principle when you're rolling. So again, think of the belly of the muscle here. We were doing this yesterday with the spider ball. Think of where that big gastrocs comes down into your Achilles and then comes at the back towards the back of the knee. It's a big old muscle. So you can apply the pressure. So lift off. So lift your bottom off the floor. Wow. And I want you to just roll the top half of your calf. So not into the back of the knee, but just stop before you get there, and then to the middle, to the belly of the calf. Now at the moment we're just rolling forward and back, one plane. Again, we need to make sure that we hit all the planes. So now, oh, turn both feet towards the capra, towards knee. So on one side you're on the outside of the calf, the other side you're on the inside of the calf. Then come back through to the centre. Your abs are working hard as well. You're probably feeling it in your wrist. We won't stay here too long. Ow, and then turn the feet over. So you're taking one side. You're still only at the top. And then bring everything back to centre and release. Ooh, give your fingers a bit of a shake. Bend one knee. We're going to use this knee. I'm going to focus on one leg only now. Bring the roller in. So it's more towards the bottom of your calf. Okay, ready? If again you're going to push up. Now, if this is really uncomfortable, you can always get people to build up some towels or cushions or blocks. You want to lift. Okay, now let's just focus on. And it's a little bit easy just to do it on one leg because you've got the support there of the other foot. And the same again. So you're going turning the foot out, and then back to your centre, and then turning again. So let's change the speed. Let's have a bit more pressure. We're focusing on the Achilles, and then coming up into the calves. Turn it over again. There we go. And then back through to your centre, and then again, turn again. Anybody want to take that? Anybody want to do one leg on top? You can. Same again. That is tough. It always takes my breath when I teach it. Okay, I get it. We're there. The other side. Have a rest with your hands and your wrists if you need to. So let's go from the bottom to the middle. Are you ready? So think about, again, going down towards your Achilles. External rotation. Come back through centre. Internal rotation. Add a bit more pressure and speed it up. And then if you're feeling completely hardcore tonight, then put both feet on and really do apply that pressure. If you feel not, just hold it. So if that's a 10, that's a 10. And then as you hold the pressure on, it will start to dissipate and hopefully it will move down into maybe a 5. And then release. Good work. Okay, bring palms and again, just shake them out. Good, lots of blood flow there going into the tissue. It's tough. Okay, now let's move back into a balance challenge after we've rolled the calves. So let's put both feet on. We'll start to bring the hamstrings in, your glutes, and then again we'll roll the hamstrings and glutes after. Okay, so think of your shoulder bridge. So feet on an unstable surface, turn the pelvis. You're going to get a lot more range. You're going to be able to come up really high. Now, just if you need to push the foam roller away a little bit more, lengthen the hamstrings, then do. Glutes are rock solid. Breathe in at the top, and then roll it down. Think of this as an articulation of the spine. So from your cervical down through your thoracic, and then let everything go, and then release. And then just have a little bit of a roll and a stretch. So stretch out the hamstrings, and then come back in. Adjust your feet, and again, breathe in. Tilt the pelvis, roll up, and just lift. So again, getting the hips up as high as you can. Think of this as articulating through the spine, always. Good, lift at the top. Is everybody okay? Hold it there. Put some lights on in a second. Hold it at the top. Breathe in and really squeeze the glutes as high as you possibly can. Squeeze them, and then gently roll down. Just one at a time, one vertebrae at a time. You gentle and roll as it comes down. Take a stretch. Okay, let's go again. Breathe in. Tilt the pelvis and roll up. Now let's just lift the hips up as high as you can. Okay, bring your left leg more to the center of your body. Place your hands down. Bring your right knee in. Extend the leg. Bring the knee back in. Lower down. Change. Bring the knee in. Extend the leg. Bring the knee back in. Lower down. 2 more. So the knee comes in. Extend. Bring it in. And lower down. Good. And again, the other one. Bring it in. Good. You've got it. Stay with it. Good. Lower down. One more on each side. Come on, you can do it. Bring the knee in. Extend it. How's everybody doing? Everybody that's watching, are you all right? Do you wish you were doing this? Lower down. And then lower down very, very slowly. Articulate through the spine. And then as you come back down, definitely give the hamstrings a stretch. Okay, we'll come back. Bring your arms over the top. And we're going to roll up. Now, if you know you're not going to make it, then bend your knees and roll. If you can do your roll up, and come up into that seated position. Good. Let's go for double hamstrings first, which is possibly, it's okay. The only thing with a big high roller like this is you're going to be moving your upper body, and it's sometimes quite hard on your wrists. So you might need to modify. Okay, let's just do single rolls first of all. You get a brilliant abdominal workout here as well. So just roll backwards towards the bottom and then back down towards the knees. You might not feel too much when we were doing this yesterday with spiky balls. Wow, that hurts. And this is where it's nice to do a bit of both, so you can do some foam roller work and some spiky ball. And then you can cross one leg over. And it's the same again, you make sure that you're not rolling just on one plane. You're turning the foot in, so you get more of the inside of the hamstring. And then back to the centre, see some questions. And then you turn it out and you're rolling out. No problem. Good, that's it, you can do it. Make sure that you are turning your body and twisting your body on this hamstring, because then we'll do more shoulder bridge work. Okay, let's change sides. So again, so you probably find that if you come in onto your IT band a little bit, that's tight. We will do the IT band right at the end. Back through to the centre. Turn the inside, so get that inside. When you come in towards your adductor, and then back again to centre. Again, we're moving around, using your abs, make it a bit more dynamic. Change the speed, change the pressure, and again, really stimulate the blood flow into the hamstrings. Okay, come off. Okay, back into shoulder bridge. So here we go. Breathe in. Now let's shoot for a much higher shoulder bridge. I'm going to take both arms off the floor as well. Ready? Breathe in. Lift the hips. Hold the hips at the top. Take both arms back into your pullover. Bring your arms forward. Arms back. Squeeze the glutes. Hips a little bit higher and then roll down. Keep your hands exactly where they are. Use this for feedback. Again, roll through. Tilt the pelvis. Push up. Lift your hips up as high as you can. Squeeze the glutes. Arms are going back. Breathe in. Breathe out. And out. And again, breathe in. One more. Squeeze, lift your hips a little higher. Roll down, roll down, roll down. Good, just one more. Only 3 reps is all that's necessary. Lift your hips. Push the hips up as high as you can. Hold it. Squeeze the glutes. Now take both arms all the way back. Come on, you can do this. That's it. Look at everybody going. Yes, brilliant. Gail's rolling. Good again. Take those arms. Caught you. Your hamstring. Okay, bring your arms slowly down. And then roll. Good. Come back onto your hamstrings. And then let's just go straight into a single hamstring. And then again, change to the other side. Can you, yes, if you feel a knot or a real tightness, then scan for that tension. There's the intensity. Hold it. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Ooh, good work. Okay, awesome. Now, without the roll, let's just do some shoulder bridging. Again, feel the difference. So when you're ready, tilt the pelvis, roll up. Oh, feels quite free actually, to the top. Are you getting a lot higher than you normally would? Do it again. So tilt the pelvis, roll through, come right up onto your bridge, squeeze the glutes, get that lovely posterior tilt at the top. Can you imagine if you had the chance to roll before you then did anything, any quite intense activity? How much better that your body would perform that movement. Squeeze right up onto the shoulder smooth and then roll it back down. Lovely, one more time. Almost feels such a good shoulder stand. Hold it at the top. Now bend one knee. So it's in, extend, in, bring it back. Keep the hips high. And really feel the power in the glute now. Because you've been training on an unstable surface, as soon as you go back to a stable surface, you just feel so much more powerful. Lift, bring it back, slow it down, slowly release. Good, have a nice stretch. Good work, okay. Back into a balance challenge. Okay. Woo. So getting better, you feel more secure, I hope, in this position. Sure you do, hold it. Okay, hands down. Let's take both legs. Let's go into more of a classical style Pilates exercises. So let's move into scissors. So I want you to lower your right leg. Okay, breathe in. Point the toe. Now you're going to cross and change. 1, 2, 3. Cross. Good. 4. Keep the legs really straight. Stretch them out. Good. Yeah, you do. Yes. Yes, Alison. Feel guilty. Lovely. And again, stretch. That's good. Isabel, that looks fabulous. Look at you guys. You're so good. Look at the hamstrings. Fantastic. Keep going. Here we go for 4, 4, 3, 2. Just one more. And then both legs at the top. Hold them. Now start to circle. Okay, if you need more support, take both arms out to the side. If you need, or make it harder, make your surface area much smaller. And then circle around the other way. Listen, when you're teaching, your voice is all over. So choose the right position for your arms. That's still a challenge. Now you can put those movements together. So let's add more scissors. So 1, bring it back. 2, lift. 1 more. Both legs together now, circle. Good, circle around. And again, the other way, just slowly circle, circle. And then bring your knees in, and then release. Okay, good work. Okay, a little bit of a back sort of methodology, a system for your lower back. Okay, let's start with, let's do the upper back first. Okay, so think rhomboids, trapezius, posterior delt. Okay, so we're going to make this quite active. So place your fingers, either cross your fingers together and let your head be in sort of like a pillow. Let's imagine that your hands are like pillows. So you're looking back at the ceiling. You've got the glutes here. You're in a bridge, so you're on your feet. And just roll, again, I would say not going onto your neck, just at the base of the neck. And then roll down to the bottom of your scapula. So your head on this position for the cervical spine, the head stays looking back. You're not extending your neck, but your hands are really supporting. And you're just rolling backwards and forwards, using your feet. You might do some shuffling around. Okay, so think now again around the back of the shoulders towards your traps and your rhomboids. Okay, so again, we're just staying in the middle part of the back. Okay, now your left side, I want you to lift up your right. Now I want you to focus on rolling. You might need to move your feet more on your left. There we go. So we've got a lot more weight there. Again, you're not going into your neck. You're around the back of the shoulders, and then come back through to the centre. So you're supported, and your head's looking back, and then just roll over the other side. So it's just a bit of a rotation. Your foam roller might be moving. That's what music on. But you've got more weight going across now onto that other side. And hold it. Good, and then come back into your roll. I need a longer one, balance this challenge. It really is, isn't it? Okay, so it's all the upper back. Okay, and if you need to take a break, just take a break. Okay, so that is your upper back, the back of your shoulders taken care of. Now, walk your feet back in. Think about around where your bra strap is. But now, I don't want you to look back, I want you to start to look over the top of your knees. So this makes it a lot more safe so that you're not extending into your lower back. So now your chin's more forward and you're rolling towards the bottom of your scapula. Okay, so that's quite nice. Depends what bra or top you've got on, if it's a smooth roll. But you're looking forward, so you've rounded off the back. So as you go down into your cervical part of your spine, you're looking forward. Now again, the same thing, just roll over. So you've got some rotation, more to the side of the body, and the side of that area, and then come back in, and then roll through. Good, and then rotation over the other side. So again, just rolling more. Might take your breath a bit as you come back over. There we go, and then back through to the centre. Now you can continue. I'm coming off the camera, that's far away. But when you get towards your lower back, I want you to be a lot higher up. This is quite tender. So you're looking, it's as if you crunched over. And you just very, very tenderly just pushing forward and back. So your head is up and you're just rolling on towards your lumbar spine. Again, very gentle. And if that feels very sensitive there, if your lower back feels too intense, then again modify it. Does it feel amazing? If my lower back feels rock solid. So you've always got to adjust as you're going down the thirds of your back. You need to adjust your head and neck. So when it's lower back, you're much more curled over. Your pelvis and your thighs are controlling the roll. Then as you go towards your thoracic, you start to look back a little bit more, but you're still looking towards the top of your knees. And then as you go to your upper back, you're much flatter. So again, take it back in thirds. Cross the elbow over, so you're putting more weight on one side and then the other side. And then you can mix that up. So when your clients feel comfortable with how to adjust their head and neck, depending on the area of the back that they're moving, then you can get them to where do they need it. Well, for me, I need it in the lower back. I'll go down You might need it more in the upper back, the thoracic spine. And then just spend a minute on that area. Ooh. Okay, let's just do some work on this. Okay, you can do a bit longer. Now come off the roll and come down and do your back work. So it's nice to roll the spine first. Have you roll at the top here, but let's first of all, the glutes are quite chilled now, quite relaxed. Let's switch them back on, boot them back up. So tense the glutes, just placing your hands down and then go into your swing legs. So just one side at a time. Here we go, breathing out and squeeze. And at the same time now as you add your swim legs, again, very gentle, there's nothing quick with this, it's really slow. You're pushing down to your forearms, you're feeling your lower back, and you're getting the glutes to fire. Okay, one more. Now let's keep the legs down. Think of a swan. So you're squeezing back down with your shoulder blade, you're pushing onto your forearms, and you're moving into a swan dive, a modified swan dive, where you're focusing on extending thoracic extension. So your bottom rib stays down. And I bet you if we'd have done this before we've done the roll, this would have felt really stiff. And it feels more pliable now you've done the rolling before. So again, roll the shoulder blades back, bottom rib down and then extend. Now head down, arms out wide, and move into a square. So you've got your forehead down, squeeze back with the shoulder blades. And I want to again imagine that you've got a lot more range than if you just did it. And we'll test that out. So 3 exercises for, again, the same areas of your back. So just to recap, so you have squeeze the glutes, just swimming legs for lower back and glutes. So let's do 4 swimming legs. And then add the swimming leg with thoracic extension. Pushing down onto the forearms. And then lose the swimming legs and just move into thoracic extension or swan. Again, retract the shoulder blades, come down, head comes up, and then lower down. One more. Just lift back, and then lower down. And then keep the forehead down, take your arms wide, squeeze back with the shoulder blades and knees. If you want to put it all together, you can have a swim leg with a back extension and the square arms at the same time, okay? Now let's go back to your roll and let's do the back work, the roll back work again. See how that feels. Okay, so let's start from the top. Okay, so support, you can do this a bit quicker now. So again, head back, upper back, not quite into the neck. Maybe do a little bit of rotation, so you're going on one side, one back and shoulder on one side, and then the other. And then when you're ready, move into the thoracic spine. It definitely takes your breath away. Try and speak and do that. And then if you want to go towards your lower back, that's particularly tight for you. Work it. Oh my gosh, it feels so much better. Wow. How do you modify a lower back roll? I think you just got to come up a little bit higher, Joy, and just accept that it might be too much for long people. And if it is, then just come down onto the floor with it. Because that is, if your back is really sensitive on that, it's really sensitive. So you could just hold it. And when you feel that intensity, then just as you hold it, the pressure will start to dissipate slowly. Good, and then roll, and then come off. Now what's really nice to come after that is to now do your roll-ups. See if this helps you perform your roll-up. Now again, a roll-up's not for everybody. So you bring your arms over. If you get stuck at that point, I understand, it just is probably biomechanics. But if you can roll over by working on your spine and doing all that work, does that help? Does that make that roll up feel a bit easier, a bit smoother? Are you able to execute the movement a little bit better than you normally would? That's nice. To roll, self-massage, a bit of myofascial release, stimulate the fascia, and then do a particular exercise. And then come over, just stretch. And then bend your knees, and go into your half roll back. And then come forward, let's add some rotation. So just twist back with the right, through centre, and then left. And then forward fold, extend, another big stretch all the way down. Just one more, so your arms are coming over, head, neck and shoulders, just roll, lovely big stretch. How are you all feeling? Bend your knees, halfway back. So you should feel, should feel good, you should feel stimulated, refreshed. Rotation back, and then left. Extend, big stretch. There, and come back. Okay, let's do the piriformis. Do your glutes and your piriformis. Okay, so nice way to work the back. I think if you were doing a back or a posture or maybe you were doing 20-minute sessions online, or you were doing a posture and enhancing session, that's a great way to train the back. It really does. I had a good core, but no matter how many times, it really depends on the length of your torso, your QL. It depends on your pelvis, your lower back. There's so many variables, Sharon, as to why some people struggle to roll up, and it's nothing to do with fitness or strength. It's often just biomechanics, the length of your torso, the length of your legs sometimes. Yeah, Lucy, yeah. Oh, really? That's good, got rid of your headache. It's a miracle. Okay, let's do some glutes. Okay, let's pick. Which one shall we do? Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so cross. Okay, cross one leg. That might be too tight, that's a bit tight for me. If it is, just one leg and just roll onto that glute. And again, thinking about rolling the knee forward and then just coming through. This is where I think the spiky balls are really awesome for piriformis in this area. But again, after you've rolled your lower back, it's nice to do your glutes and then go over to the other side. That's tense. So as soon as you find that tight bit, apply the pressure, scan it, hold it, I've got that intensity, and then hold it for 8, 7, keep pressure, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then roll again. And now I've got issues in this, all in that left hip, all where that wound is. There you go. Roll again. So you could actually take the hands back and start to roll just gently from your glutes through your sacrum, just into the lower back. Move around a little bit, just roll back. There you go, nice and easy. That's good. Okay, so that's a nice way to work your back and your glutes. Then turn over after you've done your shoulder bridge. Okay, are you ready to do your quads? Okay, I'm sure you can't wait. Okay, so into a plank position. Here we are. Contract the core, so be aware that you're not extending your lower back. So you've got to go into a nice plank. This is lovely, isn't it? So roll all the way down. Just don't on the knee, stop before you get there. And then push just towards the bottom of your pelvis. So just seeing how that feels. If you've done a lot of classes this week, this is what we need to do. It's going to aid lymphatic drainage. It's going to hydrate all the tissue, blood flow to the area. The benefits to rolling are just phenomenal. So again, the same thing. You can turn your toes out. So you're externally rotating. So you're rolling on the outside of the quad and the inside of the other side. And then the other side, change, roll. Of Of course you can do it with one leg if that's too tender. Okay, once you've allowed that pain to just go down, you could always cross and bend your knees. And on again. Good, just breathe in. There you go. Fabulous. Keep rolling, keep rolling. These muscles need this. And then again, go back into straight legs. Now, if you find a tight area, maybe it's just above your knee. And if there is, just hold and just again backwards and forwards on that little tight area there. Feel it, feel it. Good, good. Good, and then release it. Well done. Come off the roll, and then just sit back and have a stretch. Into your back. Come back down onto your front. Pick that up. Hold on to one ankle. Wow, how far can your quad go now? Can you feel the most amazing stretch in your quad? Do you feel a lot more flexible in that area now? Once you've rolled your quad and then do a quad stretch. It's like, whoa, this is amazing. Change to the other side. And again, you might find that getting a really great quad stretch after you've rolled. And then both together, push your hip down. You want to lift the knee. You can see how much it affects your flexibility. Good, and then release down. Good work for the quads. Well done. Okay, here it is. Are you ready for the IT band? Last one of the night. Are you ready? Onto your side. Ooh. And start to roll that IT band. So I think pretty much for every fitness instructor, every fit pro, will struggle with a very tight IT band. So let's roll, let's get on it. Yes, you're all so excited. Yeah, sure, that's a really good point, Steph. I think it would depend on the severity of the scoliosis. I think it would just depend, and if it's particularly on one side, if it's more symmetrical, it would depend. Yeah, I think it's really individual. I wouldn't say no. I think it would depend on how severe the scoliosis is. And the other side. Let's go again here. Let me know if you're writing in the comments, then I know you're not doing it. Yeah. Whoa. So let's just keep that going. There we go. Okay. Oh, I think we're there. All right, guys, just come down onto your mat and have a little seat. Just have a shake. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, let's just use the roll to finish up a bit more flexibility. And there's, I hope that's really stimulated your imagination and given you some good ideas to work with and how you can mix your strength training, your Fitness Pilates training with your rolling. So let's just use the roller to, again, help our flexibility. So you could do, online, you could do some posterior chain work, some mini posture enhancing foam rolling, increase your mobility, increase your flexibility. Take it all the way over, but keep your glutes down. If your guys have all got a foam roller, you can encourage them to get one. You can have a rolling week, and you could do 5 minutes of rolling at the end of every session, and then again, over the top. Or you could do some quick Facebook Live energy breaks, where throughout the day you popped up and did 15 minutes of rolling. You could do a masterclass and teach your clients how to roll, where they could roll at home. And release good. Bring the hands together and then rotation and hold it. So it doesn't have to just be an hour of rolling. It could be 20 minutes, 15 minutes, pop-up sessions. Rotate. And again, of course, brilliant for men, brilliant for sports people, for your home runners. Everybody's out and about, running and walking. Teach them how to roll correctly. Good. And then center. Lift both arms to the top. There we go. And then take the roll just behind. Move back And again, lift. Right up, lift the chest. Good work. And release it. Good, just shake out your arms, your legs, just with your neck. Again, just roll back with your shoulders. Take your head over one way. And then over the top the other way. You're all very quiet today, not many questions tonight. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box. And let me know if you enjoyed that and that was helpful and you feel that you could put something nice together and you understand the rationale behind it. Just look over your right shoulder. And if you have any more questions on function or form, just let me know. Rotation, and this is giving you some more tools in your toolbox tonight. Okay. Bring your hands down and then just roll up really slowly. And I hope as you're rolling up and you're uncurling, you circle your shoulders back, you're feeling really energized and you feel really nice. Good. Shout out. Good. Would you recommend spiky balls? I think they're both very different. Good comment. I think they're really different. Thank you, Elaine. Just really different. And they're nice to mix together. This has made me yawn. Not a rude way, exhilarated. Thank you. Great session. Oh, thanks everybody. I really hope you enjoyed it. Physio said IT band 9. Yes, doesn't respond to rolling, but quite attached. Some is good. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Didn't see an email early. So, I'll send you the recording, Diane. No problem. Oh, thanks everyone. Well, just let me know if you've got any questions or comments. Not going anywhere. I will send you the recording. So you'll get it as a YouTube link and then you'll be able to look through that. And you'll also get a certificate. It'll be on Monday, the certificate will be. Oh, really hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, go for it and let me know. Feel more flexible. Don't you find that when you do the rolling on your quads and then you stretch your quads, it's like, wow, amazing. Oh, thank you. I hope you got lots of ideas. That's the most important thing. Lovely. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I love those suggestions for the roller. Okay, I'll send you the link. You're very welcome. Ah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. That was really lovely. Do let me know. My toolbox is filling up. That's what we want, Sam Cole. We want a full toolbox. So important. Let me know how you get on online and how your clients enjoy it. Yeah, this is a really old roller, but these were from Escape. If you can have a look for Escape Fitness. And they're quite solid. I had a load of like heavy foam ones that I don't know where they went, but these, I think they're like the Reebok ones. I think it's the same dimensions. Bob the Builder, you know, Anne. Have a lovely weekend too. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Caroline, I'll send you a message. Yeah, message for sure. Yeah, what are the benefits of rolling, please? Not something I'm really common. Oh, it helps stability. It helps balance. All the things I talked about at the beginning, Zoe. So it's stability, it's balance, it's core stability, and then for rolling, it's to bring more blood flow to the muscle. And when you feel that you've got like a knot, then you hold and roll like backwards and forwards. So as if you've got like, if you're having a sports massage and it's like a trigger point where there's knots, and applying that pressure and rolling backwards and forwards in 3 planes helps the muscle start to again get rid of all the lactic acid. Yes, absolutely, I will. Yeah, vino now. Well, enjoy the wine. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, do give me a shout if you have any other questions. You can grab me online and I'll send all the documentation to you over the next few days. And thank you. It was fabulous. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy your wine if you're going to have a glass of wine. Thanks, Steph. Thanks, everybody. It's lovely to see you all. Just a wave at everyone. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Gail. Thanks, Gemma. Thanks, Sue. Celebrity Squares. Awesome. Oh, thanks, Trisha. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a lovely weekend.